When they ask for release. I don't know who had. I don't know who had the tunes on, but I liked it. Just give me 2 seconds, and I'll be right back. Hi, ladies. Sorry I'm late. Just running around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to pack to go home and not pack like my whole entire life like I usually do. All right. So I know Jane said she was going to be a bit late. I don't know if Carrie can make it. Danielle's working. I'm just trying to think if anyone else is popping on, if we should wait. I feel like because we're kind of already late, we should just hop into things. It's recording, so anyone that's late, they can just watch the recording. Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Oh, you're all frozen. My internet's being crappy. Okay, you are all frozen. So I will wait a minute to get a thumbs up. Okay, sorry. My internet is really acting up, you guys. It just kicked me right off, like the Zoom completely closed. I've never had that happen before. And you were all frozen. So I was like, can you guys hear me though? Yeah, okay. So as I was saying, we're gonna get started. I think this was pretty much everyone that could hop on. Sorry I'm a little late. Okay, so hi you guys. So I just wanted to start tonight by, first of all, giving you all a huge congratulations on how amazing you guys are doing this month so far. Like it's just, it just makes me so happy, you know, everyone doing your daily check-ins in the group. Sorry, I'm just gonna mute a few people here. I just get really distracted by background noise. Just really proud of you guys. You know, some of you have done invites for the first time. I know some of you did your first sale. Sorry, I shouldn't say sale. You helped your first person. I know Jane signed up a coach, which is super exciting. You know, some of you are doing Instagram stories for your first time. I just love that, you know, we're all coming together and showing up, crushing our goals. We all set some pretty amazing goals for February, and I just love that, you know, it's only day 5 and you guys are just doing so amazing. And I think it's really helping having the daily check-in, seeing that everyone is, you know, right there working together. So yeah, I just want to say I'm really proud of you guys for showing up and working on you as well as working on your business. So give yourselves a pat on the back for that. And let's keep it going. Because, you know, I feel like that happens a lot. We get really excited and we go, and then we kind of slowly fizzle out. Like, no, not happening, you guys. Let's keep it rocking all of February. Okay, so you guys get to hear from someone else for a change. Yay! So Sam and I were actually chatting, and I was like, I don't know what to talk about on the team call, and she like fired out all these awesome ideas. I was like, hey, how do you feel about, you know, co-hosting with me? And she said she would. So that's exciting. So I'm going to pass it over to Sam. She's got a few points she wants to chat about. And yeah, so take it away, lady.
All right, thanks. So I did write some just points down that I thought we could talk about. I kind of thought more of like an open conversation so that everyone can get involved and just talk about like what's been working for them. what struggles we're having, what maybe you're fearful of, and just how we can conquer some of those fears. And then just some other stuff. So I figured since everyone has been doing so well with the daily check-ins and the planning, just kind of some things that maybe are working for you. I think if everyone just shares a little bit, it will help someone else who maybe hasn't thought of that. So yeah, if anyone has anything they want to add.
Okay, so I'm gonna chime in and say I know we're kind of a quieter bunch for the most part. I mean, especially like if you're my like personally sponsor, I'm super shy and quiet, so I feel like I attract shy and quiet kind of for the most part. So just know that it's okay if you're scared to talk.
I'm scared to talk too, just so we're all clear.
Oh, me too. Like I'm sweating right now. If you guys like feel my underarms, like I know it's gross, but like I'm just so everyone knows. But yeah, I think it'd be awesome if like you're really not comfortable, you could always type. Like I know you're super new, but like even you're jumping right in. You know, you're taking part in the daily like check-ins and stuff, even though you're probably like, what? But I love that. Like, so good for you for jumping right in. So Sam, what was your question again? Sharing just like what's working well right now for people.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm just like kind of repeating what you said. So you want people to just kind of say like what's working well?
Yeah. Just some successes. Like I think that we kind of downplay when we have success and we think, oh, well, I'm just doing what everyone else is doing and what I'm doing isn't special, so I'm not going to be adding any value. But I honestly think that we each do our own thing and that if we just share it, that it might just spark an interest or create ideas. So I just thought it could kind of be like open conversation about what's going well to start off with.
Okay. You want to share something for yourself? Kick us off.
Yeah. I've never been very good with just doing the daily activities, like following step by step. I kind of one day I'm like, all right, well, today I'm going to do this because I'm feeling it. And then tomorrow, let's see how I feel. I kind of go based off of like how I'm feeling, which is not ever going to work because I mean, today I had a really crappy day. I didn't want to do anything. And if I would have just been like, well, I just don't feel like it, so I'll just see how I feel tomorrow, then you're always going to be just trying to catch up. You're never going to get in a place where you're just, okay, this is what I have to do. This is what I'm going to do. So for me, this month, just really focusing on the call to action and crossing those things off my list. Like if I don't cross them off my list, like I'm not going to bed yet.
Yes, I love that. And that's exactly it. That's something we really have to kind of realize, that this business only grows and works like when we do. So if I like that you said like you were before, just when you felt like it, you kind of did certain things. But unfortunately, like, we kind of have to show up even when we don't feel like it. And that's like with anything, right? Like just like your jobs outside of coaching, you can't just go to work when you feel like it, or you probably wouldn't have a job very long, right? So I know sometimes it can be hard to like look at coaching as like a normal everyday job, but I find if you treat it like you would treat a job that you leave the house for, it makes a big difference. Because like yesterday, I talked a lot about, I had a really crappy day, like kind of like Sam did today, and I didn't want to do anything. Like I didn't want to work out, I didn't want to do any of my daily activities, but I know that I committed, to the program. I committed to showing up with you guys in February. I committed to doing all these things, and I knew it would just make me feel crappy. Like if I just kind of let my mood, affect everything else. And yeah, so definitely changing your mindset to like, just, I got to show up anyway, whether I feel like it or not. And, that doesn't mean you can't have quieter days. Like, there are days when, maybe you're not feeling good or whatever. So you do a little bit less in your business, and that's totally okay. But as long as you're doing, the daily non-negotiables, so posting, Obviously drinking your Shakeology if you're, feeling up to it, working out if you're feeling up to it. It's different if you're sick. Like, obviously, if you're sick, you're not going to maybe work out and stuff, but always trying to, like, get a post out and letting your followers know what's going on, because believe it or not, we're all human. So I think people like to realize, like, to know that coaches aren't perfect. Coaches have bad days. We have bad moods. We have crappy workouts. We, eat like crap sometimes, like, just like everyone else. And it's, it's times like that when we're open and honest that we are relatable to other people. And they're like, oh, wow, okay, like, she's not perfect. Like, she's missing workouts. Like, she's doing this. And then people, I feel like we become a little bit more approachable and, like I said, relatable, and we reach those people that maybe had a similar day. So don't ever be afraid to talk about those struggles and bad days, but then talk about what you're going to do to work on that and how you're going to work towards overcoming it, because it gives other people hope, and just to know that they're not alone, which I think is really important. So that's awesome, Sam. I love that. Does anyone else have, some successes? I know Sarah has one.
What do you mean?
That's you.
I know. Well, I had I almost hit Success Club last month, but I didn't quite make it, which is fine because I have 2 more customers than I've had in the last 6 months since I joined Beachbody. So milestone.
Yes.
I was excited about that. And then I've been talking to people in February, but I haven't nailed anything down, but I've been like posting more on social media, and I find that people find that to be helpful. Like when I was reaching out to a bunch of people in the end of January, they're like, yeah, I find you really motivating and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that's so nice. Thank you. So that made me feel good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was talking about your no smoking. You didn't even talk about that.
Oh, yes. My bad. Yeah, no, I haven't smoked in 5 days.
Really businessy, but that's exciting. So what is it, day 4?
Mm-hmm. It's day 5, 5th day of, yeah. So I've been like cold turkey, but basically it's because in January I started kind of smoking again. I fell back into it, and then I told Jake, my husband, I'm like, well, I'm not going to buy another pack of cigarettes in February. He's like, well, what happens if you buy another pack in February? Because you said that about January. And I'm like, I guess you're right. Oh. So now I've just kind of like told everyone that I can't smoke in February. So now I kind of like have to do it. So it's going well. I've been cold turkey. So
that's awesome. It's crazy.
I mean, I still get
how it
my
works
cravings, but
when you put it out.
I haven't ripped anyone's face off yet. So.
Oh, my internet is really stupid.
Jen, I think you froze.
Yeah.
Did she freeze for?
My internet's being brutal. You guys are all frozen. I'm gonna try to hotspot my phone. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Sorry.
It's okay.
It keeps like kicking me right out. I don't know what's going on with my internet.
You froze at a cute face, so that's good.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, at least
on my side, you guys all freeze and I'm good, but then it just closes me right out. I kept trying to say like something, and I was like, but I could just hear Sarah talking, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's happening. But I just wanted to say congrats, and that
thank you.
I feel like it makes a big difference when we really put our goals out there. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for me publicly saying that I was doing no alcohol for this Transform 26-week program, like, I would have given in yesterday, 100%, and long before this. But it's like I told the world that I'm doing something, so I feel like that really helps for accountability.
Exactly.
Big time. So that's awesome. And that's awesome. You signed up 2 people in January. That's huge. And your stories and your posts and everything have been really, really awesome. So congratulations on that. You've been super consistent with them, which is huge. And like you said, people start to notice that.
Thank you.
So keep that up. Does anyone else want to share? No? That's okay. I don't know who's at the bottom.
Well, Sam asked me a question. Okay. So Sam, to answer your question, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so maybe working I get cravings, or like after eating, yes, or I just really enjoyed smoking. So like your morning cigarette, your driving cigarette, you know what I mean? Like I actually like smoking. So I just realized that it's not good for you. There's no benefit to smoking. It wastes more time. It causes issues. You know what I mean? So it's just time to quit off for about like 6 years. So I just kind of want to, I've never just not smoked for a year. So I'm just going to take it month at a time. And then when I get to the year, I'm going to be very excited.
Well, good job.
Yeah, thanks.
You should be proud because
Thank
that
you.
is not easy.
It's really not, no. And like, I'm always going to have cravings even when I'm 50 years old, probably. So it's just something I need to accept and work through rather than just like, oh, I feel like having a cigarette, so I'm going to go have a cigarette, you know?
Yeah,
That whole self-discipline thing, it's something I have to work on. So, yay.
you'll get there.
Yeah.
You're already rocking it. You'll get it.
Mhm. Did you said you used to smoke? What did you do to quit?
Well, I vape now,
Yeah,
but yeah, but I don't smoke, so.
yeah, right, exactly.
But I think
People
it's
have been
more of
telling me to
the habit, like
exactly.
the handsy, almost finding something just to do in place of that. Like, I don't know why knitting comes to mind. I've never knitted. It sounds awfully boring, but like just maybe something to just occupy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I always think it's just the habit. I think like a lot like addictions, like I know people are suffering with addiction all across the world right now. And I think it's more just like the habit, not even like the high, it's the habit of the
Hmm.
feeling of like the starting it. So I definitely think that that's goes with smoking too. So
Hmm.
yeah.
I agree.
All right. So the next thing I wrote down was just maybe something that we're struggling with. I think that a lot of us has had success just like kind of getting out of our comfort zone and doing things maybe we wouldn't normally do and really getting a solid routine down. So then I was just thinking, okay, so we're doing really good with this, but what is something that we struggle with that maybe we could just use a push in the right direction or that maybe we have questions about? My struggle, we'll just start right off the bat, just keep going here. My struggle has been doing lives. I always call them lives, but just being like talking like this on my stories just freaks me out. Like, I think I sound funny. I think I look funny. I'm just like, I think what I'm doing is boring. So tonight I just went through the whole dinner meal I made. I was like, all right, we're just going to record this. Even though I think that it's like normal and I feel like everyone knows, there's going to be people that are engaged in that and they'll see like some value in it and be like, oh, this is really good. I never thought about doing that. Or I never thought about putting this food with this food to make this. So I just went for it and we'll see what happens. But that's definitely one of my main struggles.
I can relate to that because I struggle with that too. Because I think I talk funny and I was always made fun of with the way I speak growing up, even though I sound completely different in my head and I have no control over how other people hear me, but because I was made fun of forever, or I get a whole lot of, oh, you sound sick, you sound awful, do you have allergies? Like I get a whole lot of it. So I just kind of accepted this is just what I sound like, but I'm awkward and weird and I think I'm funnier than I probably really am. So I don't know if that always comes across that way in my stories. So it's awkward. It's hard to put yourself out there.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super. You're just being very vulnerable,
Hmm.
and that's always scary. So,
Um, hey, one thing is think of it like you're just on a team call like this. Like Sam, like you without even hesitation when I asked you to do this with me, like you were like, yeah, sure, I'll try. Like didn't even think twice about it. And
Right.
you know, I find for me, like, I hate doing stories too, and like some days I'll just be like, oh, I don't care, and I'll post it, and other days I literally delete it and re-record it, 20 times, because I'm like, oh, I didn't make sense, I stumbled on one word, like I better erase it. But I think when we try to be like perfect and whatever. But I find what helps, like, is just being honest. So, like, saying that it makes you nervous to do these, but you're going to work on them and practice so that, it might help someone. And same with you, Sarah, like, you are funny, like, just so you know, you make me laugh all the time. And just saying that, though, like, you could do a post about what you just said, like how you were made fun of, growing up, and like, it's hard for you to put yourself out there, but you're doing it because whatever reason, you want to motivate and inspire other people, and you're happy and you have learned, like, just whatever. Like, I just find talking about those struggles and those fears that we have, those are like things that really, really relate to other people, because they're like, oh wow, like, I'm not alone. Again, it kind of comes back to that. It just makes us human and relatable. So don't be afraid to, like, hop on your story and say, like, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I'm not going to be perfect, I think I'm funnier than I am. Like, just say whatever, and that's how, like, just be you. It's hard sometimes, it really is hard, like, to be you on your stories, but I think when we are, that's when they make the best stories. Like, when I post stupid stuff and I'm like, frig, this is so embarrassing, like, I get a lot of people, like, reacting, and yeah, sometimes it's laughing at me, but that's good though. And I feel like it makes it a little bit easier, like, each time. But I feel like we'll never, like, I know me, I'll never be 100% comfortable with this or with talking on my stories and stuff. But I just always remind myself that if it makes one person smile or helps someone through a bad day, or, motivate someone to get up and work out or to make healthier choices with their eating, like, that makes it all worth it. So I always just kind of try to keep that in the back of my head and just do it, because I know it's the scary things that usually, turn out to be the best things.
And like, just to put this out there, like, when I watch your guys' stories, I don't see that you feel awkward. Like, I don't see that you look scared. I think, like, dang, like, they're just putting themselves right out there, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why can't I do that? You know what I mean? So if I think that, there's got to be a lot more people that think that too.
Exactly.
So just a little bit more motivation, even for me, that it's not that hard. It's just really just taking that first step.
Yeah, that's really true. I always was told watched in trainings that it's just like, pretend you're just like having a conversation with like your best friend. And someone once said not to look at yourself like when you're talking, and I like to look up at like the dot instead, because apparently that's supposed to be easier. But I don't know, I have a hard time doing that. I feel like if I don't look at myself, then it makes me look like I'm looking like, I don't know, like I'm
I just find I make faces when I talk.
I think we all do. Like,
Yeah.
But again, like Sam said,
This is awkward.
and you're like talking to yourself, like you're sitting in an empty room, literally talking to yourself. I have to put music on. Like, I have the TV on really low right now in the background. Like, I have to have some sort of noise, or else I literally can't. Like, I can't talk. It just feels really weird. But yeah, Sam, you totally nailed it. Like, when I watch any of you guys on your stories, like, or anything, I'm like, oh, like, you don't seem awkward or anything, like, at all. So we definitely overthink it, of course. We're our own worst enemies, definitely. It's just about the more you do it. That's my biggest advice. The more you do it, the easier it will get. And again, like me, I know I'll never be 100% comfortable with it, but I know I'm 1,000 times more comfortable than the first story I posted on Instagram last year. So yeah, the more you do it, the easier it gets.
And I always watch, like, there's a couple Beachbody coaches that I watch, like Jatana, and I don't even know. I watch Ashley a little bit, but actually she has a coach under her, the Fire for Life Fitness. I don't remember her name. But anyway, I always see them. They're always like going live, just randomly like, oh, I'm sitting on the couch eating chips. Oh, I'm doing this, and
Yeah.
oh, I'm just gonna have a cocktail later. I'm waiting for my husband, and I don't know why, but I can't stop watching it. And it's literally nothing.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, yeah, I do the same thing. Like, I watch some coaches' stories every day, and it's the same thing, or like their same piece of post, their same, whatever. But I watch it every day, and sometimes they'll throw in some random fun stuff. But like, it's the same things. But I keep going back every day. So, and that's like, Angie Bellemere has a good training on that, like how she talks about her stories. Like, people like consistency. They like knowing what they're gonna see and hear when they come to your page. So what we think is like normal and boring, we're just the same as everyone else, like, I don't know. Like, she used to talk about how, like, she's like, I would just share my day. Like, if she's like, people love my dog, because she says when someone knocks on her door or something, her dog would go crazy. So she's like, anytime the mailman came to the door, I posted it on my Instagram story, and it was literally my dog just freaking out. But people found that so funny. Like, just little things like that, like, people like got excited about with her. And she's like, I pour my shake every day. Like, I do, like, just little things. She's like, I thought were so boring, but people came to my page to see that consistency. And so that's when it was actually at a coaching event, like just a Super Saturday last year, where she talked on stage. And I was like, okay, because I felt that too. I was like, it's so boring. Like, no one cares about my Energize or my shakes. But just hearing her like say that, I was like, okay, I'm good. Like, we're just doing normal everyday things like everyone else, and people don't have to watch. That's the thing, but they do. So we're obviously doing something good, right? Does anyone else have like anything that they find they're struggling with? Like with that, the daily checklist, or anything like that? No? Okay.
The checklist is good. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a question of doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And that, yep.
Yeah.
That is hard. It's easy to do, easy not to do. So that's when, discipline comes in. And for me, like, I am an alarm. Like, I don't have it set up anymore, but literally my first like 4 to 6 months as a coach, I had a alarm go off every day to do that like daily checklist. And yeah, that was huge. And like Sam said, for me, I just made it like, okay, if I'm not done something, I wasn't going to bed. And yeah, that sucked some days, but it also kind of really made you focus your time, I feel like, in the time you did have, because you're like, well, I don't want to stay up late or whatever. So it just kind of having that mindset, like, this stuff has to get done every day to move my business forward, and, to hit those goals that I set for myself, and, to help more people and all of that. So yeah, it is just a matter of doing it. And that's something like none of us can unfortunately really do for each other. We can check in and tag each other and whatever, but actually physically doing the work we can't do. So just gotta, yeah, I don't know. Do it. Kim Fitzpatrick posted a thing today. I don't know if anyone saw it. It was like, just do it. She's like, my biggest advice. Oh no, hers was just start, I think. But maybe it was what's her face, Rachel Hollis's was just do it yesterday. I don't know. I just feel like I'm seeing a lot of that lately, that it's hard to give advice on actually doing something. You have to do it. We're not going to be motivated all the time. We're not really motivated any of the time to do much. So you really just have to be disciplined, and you just have to do it. And you just start, at least just start. And then, yeah, Kim's post was really neat today. Like, start, like, read 1 page of a book, friend 1 person, send 1 invite, and then day 2, show up and repeat it. Like, but read 2 pages, send 2 invites. Like, it was just like, you just have to start. That's the biggest thing, starting and just doing it, whether you feel like it or not.
I feel like Team Cup is good too. Sorry, my cat makes a lot of noise because he gets really hungry and his food room. So if I don't hold him, he's going to be annoying. I find that Team Cup is pushing me to get a routine in with the business side of things so that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Because for a while there, I was just getting into the routine of working out and the Shakeout, like the nutrition side of things. So now it's just getting into a routine with the business side of things. Because the personal development and everything I'm good with, the inviting and the growing your network and everything, that's what I need to work on.
Okay. And that's exactly it. It is getting into a routine and a schedule that's going to work for you. Obviously, every day isn't going to work out perfectly, but having like some sort of idea of what your week's going to look like and just kind of scheduling in time. So like, you know, if you have another job, like obviously when you sit down to write your schedule, you want to write that in first and any appointments and stuff. And then just learning to kind of schedule your stuff around that when you have time. And like for me in the beginning, like I never had, like I couldn't sit and do everything all at once. Like it just was not possible. Or I'd be up all hours of the night. It was really about those pockets of time. You know, when you're getting ready in the morning was when I usually listen to my personal development. I actually, before I got out of bed was when so I'd give myself like 5 minutes just to lay there. And that was when I friended new people, followed new people. And then breaks, you know, at work was when I maybe wrote out my post or checked into a challenge group, got my post. So just really just finding, you know, what, like really looking at like kind of your days as a whole, like typically what they look like, and then just making Beachbody fit your life and not letting it become like stressful and overwhelming and feeling like it's a burden, like, oh, like I have to work my business. Just really flipping your mindset to like, I have this awesome opportunity and I'm going to make it fit into my life, not the other way around.
And I totally get that, what you're saying there, Jen, because like my life is crazy most of the time. So it's like I'll be sitting on the couch while the kids are watching TV and just trying to post something while they're watching their shows, because I work full time. My daughter does 14 dance classes a week. My other daughter plays hockey all week. My husband runs his own business. So like, it's like we're always on the go. So it's just organized. Like I have everything written in an agenda and I have my days fully planned out. And the minute I get off schedule, I feel like the whole day is off schedule.
Yeah, and yeah, I know that sucks. I hate that feeling.
So then how do you schedule scrolling media, like social media? Because I get sucked in sometimes and I'm like, shit, it's been 2 hours.
I do it usually when I'm watching TV. So if I'm on the couch watching TV at night, or I'm just sitting when the kids have their show on, that's usually when I'll do that. Or if I'm sitting waiting to pick Gabby up from dance, and I'll scroll then and stuff. So like, I just kind of fit it into like those little moments where I'm waiting.
Did you ask when does she schedule her scrolling social media? Don't schedule that.
I know, but like if you get upset when you get off your schedule, like I find like I'll be like, oh, I have to be at this place at this time, but I just wasted 20 minutes on Facebook getting ready, you know what I mean?
No. Oh,
I actually stop myself because I catch myself doing that, and I'm like, what did I actually get on here for? And I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Because it's hard in this business to differentiate the two, you know?
It is. And it's funny because you feel like you worked. And then you're like, well, no, I scrolled social media and liked some posts. Like, that's not actually working. I mean, it's engaging. You could check off you're engaging with other people, but it's hard. And that's the thing. Like, I do that too. Saying like, I'll go to message someone or I'll go to do something work related, and then I get reading someone's post, then I get creeped in their profile, and it's like next thing you know, 40 minutes has gone by and you're like, oh frig. But then we all say, oh, we don't have time to do things. We do. We just have to focus our time. Like for me, it's really hard. Like timers helps me big time, because then I won't allow my brain to like go scroll because I'm like, no, like I only have 20 minutes. So I got to get these messages done in 20 minutes. So I literally, that helps me really keep my blinders on. And I put my phone on airplane mode. So like no text or anything come through. And that really like, I find helps keep my blinders on. And then I allow myself breaks. Like, okay, so if I just did 20 minutes, like focus, do 10 minutes of scrolling, but set a timer. Like say, okay, I'm going to give myself 10 to 15 minutes to relax, scroll, watch some stories, whatever, set a timer for 15 minutes. And then, you know, it's back to work. It's hard. And I mean, everyone does it. It's just, if your stuff isn't done yet, like try to just be disciplined, blinders on, notifications off, all of that.
Yeah, I find like during the day when I'm at work, I have to have my ringer right off. And usually I never even turn it back on because I just forget it's off. But like I'm designing houses all day. So if my focus isn't there and I screw something up, I have the building department coming at me. I have my project managers coming at me. So like, it's just time management. Like my big thing is time management. Like I have to have it timed.
My ringer's never on, ever. Like, never. My notifications have been off for 2 years, if not 2.5 years. Like Messenger, Instagram, Facebook. And don't get me wrong, like I check in sometimes when it's not my scheduled time, but I do really try to not open Facebook until it's like that time for me to check into different groups. Like I said, it's different if I'm just sitting on the couch, I'm doing nothing. Like I'll scroll, but yeah, just being focused. Time management is really huge. Because we all know like the day goes quick. Like, so it's just practicing, playing around, finding what works for you. And just, being really focused with the time you have. And just, knowing that scrolling, you can scroll anytime, like when you're laying in bed. But yeah, even just allowing that time. I remember what coach I watched a wake up call. I want to say it was Stephanie Davies. But she just really talked about like, okay, like work for 20 minutes, half an hour, then give yourself that 10 to 15 minutes to do whatever. If it's scrolling, if it's getting out for a walk, like whatever. Because like lately I found myself, I'll work for, however long, and then I'm just like blah, like drained. And I have a hard time like going back to it. So I'm trying to like set breaks after so long just to get up, stretch, move, eat, maybe watch an episode of Netflix, like whatever it is, and then get back to work. Because I find it easier to focus once we've kind of got that scroll out of our system, or, know we're not missing anything crazy happening on social media in the next 20 minutes that we do our invites or whatever. But just not making it so that it's like off limits. Like I cannot, that's saying like I can't scroll social media, just saying I don't want to scroll social media right now because I have other stuff I need to do. But when that's done, then I can scroll it or whatever.
It's a trap. It's all a trap.
It is. It really is. I've literally had girls tell me, they're like, I just sit at night for hours and watch Instagram stories all night. Right? Like they really do suck you in. But you could be doing this in that time. Because it's just time is such an, like, not an excuse, but it is something we all say. Like, I don't have time to work out. Like, I don't have time to write a post. I don't have time to invite whatever, but we all have time to scroll and watch Netflix and do that. So it's just finding that balance. Like, I will have Netflix on in the background sometimes when I'm working. I usually don't make it a show that, like, I'm really into because I can't pay attention to both. But just, like, Friends or something so that I kind of feel like I have both, that I'm not missing out, or whatever. So just, finding that balance and what works best for you and your schedule.
And I find I'm that way, too. When I'm at work, I'll usually have my music on in my ear, or at home, like, I'll be reading a book and watching TV at the same time. And it drives my husband crazy, but I just cannot focus on one thing at a time.
No, I can't do both.
Yeah. Oh, you can't do both. Yeah, a lot of people can't.
Not well. Like, I could try, but
I'm the same. I like to just do one thing at a time, take my time, live the easy life, be peaceful.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I wish you could just somehow turn off like social media scrolling. Like that there was like a feature that literally like closed your news feed or something. Like made it just go black until you did what you needed to do and then turn it back on or something.
Right.
Maybe we should invent it.
I feel like there's a lot of negativity on Facebook, so I don't get really sucked into it.
Yeah, I'm not
Like-
on Facebook that much. I'm on Instagram.
I think I'm on Instagram more.
Yeah.
Instagram is awful. But actually, I have a timer on my Instagram. It tells me when I've spent 2 hours in total throughout the day, which can be handy at times. You can ignore it and keep being on Instagram if you want, but at least you know you've wasted 2 hours.
I feel like you can do that for like an hour, maybe 30 minutes.
Maybe.
That's funny. I need one of those for Pinterest.
Oh, yeah, Pinterest is another time sucker.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, Pinterest is a time sucker.
It's so good.
You have like 75 tabs open on your browser. That's how I Pinterest. I don't know about the rest of you, but
Yeah. They all lead to something.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I'm freaking starving. Serious side note. Okay, I got really sidetracked there. So, on social media, and my stomach growling. What do you have next on the list? I just want to make sure we cover, everything before I have to hop off because I still have to pack and eat. We're leaving tonight, by the way, in like a couple hours.
Oh shit.
I'm flying home. For those of you that didn't see that in my post, flying home just for like 4 days.
I love how last minute that is.
And we're
Did you
flying
decide this morning or yesterday?
today, this afternoon? Well, because Adam just found out today that they were shut down at work, so he was like, "Oh, do you wanna go home for a couple of days?" We talked about like maybe going to Banff or something too for a couple nights, but it would have ended up costing the same. And I was like, I'd rather go somewhere like that when it's not minus 42 outside, and I can have some wine or something. I just kind of was trying to think of my program, and I was like, I'd have to pack all of it, like food, and make sure I get my workouts in, and like, I don't know. It's some things it's hard for me to do without drinking. So I was like, no, let's just go home. So yeah, we're flying out at 1 a.m. Yeah. I'll be in Belleville I'll be in Toronto at 6:30 tomorrow morning. So all the time change, yeah. We've got a few different time zones on here too, so yeah. So I'm making dinner right now, I think. So we're gonna eat and then leave here around 9. It's 10 to 7 now. I have all my clothes out that I'm taking. I just have to put them in a bag. But yeah.
I do have a couple more things written down. Obviously, we don't have to get to all of them because we can just use them on the next call.
Mm-hmm.
But the next little category, I have it all categorized, was stories. So I think we kind of touched base on stories. Some of the things I was going to touch on was, what have you gotten the most engagement from posting on your stories? Like, obviously that's why we post, is to get engagement and to have people comment or like or ask questions. So I just wanted to kind of see, what have you guys been getting the most engagement on in your posts? Because maybe that will help someone else in the group.
I find nutrition. So I'll hashtag healthy lunch ideas, and then I'll get real excited when I see that like 300 people have watched that particular story. So I find those get watched a lot. My dog. My cats don't get that much engagement. My dog gets more engagement. It's weird. I don't know.
No.
Not as many cat people in the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get a lot of engagement. I still have people, I posted a picture of cauliflower rice, 2 eggs, and a muffin with peanut butter. And I'm getting
my internet's gonna kick me off. This is driving me nuts.
All of a sudden, like, people like that. Like, you never know who you're gonna reach when you post that stuff. So, but nutrition for me too, people always like my nutrition posts.
Yeah, I had a lot of
Mhm.
engagement in the post I did about the superfood, like Shakeology balls. I had people commenting their email for like a week after I did the post. I find food stuff is good. People are always wanting, easy tips, tricks, meal ideas, meal prep ideas, stuff like that. Whenever I post with stuff with Adam, it seems to get a lot of engagement too. And yeah, if I'm just stupid, people like it. But it's totally different for everyone, right? Like it's all about what your followers, what your audience likes. It's good to have variety too, for sure. Like a few things that are like the same every day and then spicing it up a little when you can and just seeing, what people react to and comment on or reply to your stories. And I try to throw out little funny quotes and stuff sometimes. People really liked my one yesterday or the day before about the shipping or like the different UPS, Amazon, whatever. I forget exactly what it said, but we got a lot of replies on that, just people laughing. But then that starts a conversation, right? Like, so.
Yeah, definitely opens that door.
Yeah. And that's the nice thing about stories is you really can mix it up and you can have, like I said, that same stuff. Like, I'll always post my shake and about my workouts and like my energize and stuff, but then trying to just add in little different things. And meal picks, it's funny because like I am very picky. I'm really plain, like boring, whatever. But you do get people that are like, oh, like that looks so good, like the waffles, like they're just literally store-bought $2.49 waffles, and like the amount of people that were like, oh my god, like where did you get those, like how much, like it's just crazy what interests people.
Yeah.
Not like, well, a lot of people thought I made them too, which no. So once I cleared that up, maybe I did with engagement. People like simple, and that was one thing. They're like, oh, people are like, oh, I have a waffle maker, but like that would be easy because they are pretty good, like decent. I didn't know whole wheat or whole grain waffles was a thing like that you could buy. So, and they're not bad at all. They're a bit high in sodium, obviously, that like more than I would like, but other than that, they're really good, and they're like on the program, so that's perfect. And they're quick, easy little snack breakfast.
Nice.
It might be how you're dressing them up too, makes it look so good.
Yeah. I know I'm all about putting some peanut butter on them. I feel like it was you, Harry, that gave me that idea or something. I don't know. Well, because I always put it on my toast, so I was like, oh, the waffles just kind of like toast.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's good.
I made Shakeology pancakes with peanut butter on them.
Yes,
Yes.
That's probably like
They're so good.
I've been dreaming about them since. I haven't made them again. I'm gonna make them tomorrow. They're so good. Like I was blown away. Like the first bite wasn't that good. I was like, and then it was like I couldn't cut it fast enough. Like I made 4 and I wanted to eat all 4, but I like had to have a little self-control. So
Yeah.
I made 2.
they are good.
They're good. And then like even if you can get a banana on there.
Well, I mashed a banana in the batter.
Oh.
Like they were on, I can't even, you'll have to make them. They're
Was
so
it the
good.
recipe that Jen had? Or that Jen tried?
No, it was Amy Rada, like Happy, Healthy, Humble. I don't know if you've heard, but
Yep, I follow her.
posted it one day and I was like, those sound really good. Super simple. It was like, I think 2 eggs and 1 banana, a scoop of Shakeology, honey, almond milk, a dash of cinnamon and peanut butter.
Nice.
And then I just blended it in my blender and then just, it made 4 pancakes and we'll do again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, super.
Sounds good.
Anything you can put in Shakeology in a pancake, like you're winning. That's how I feel.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, I don't really have, I mean, I have more we can talk about, but I don't want to keep everyone here. So I'll just keep the rest of my stuff for next week.
Okay. I like that. I mean, if you like, by all means, you guys are welcome to hang out and chat. I just, yeah, I want to eat and get packed. I'm so excited to go home. Or if you guys have questions, I mean, please ask. Like, I'm not rushing anyone off.
I'm sure we all have social media to scroll.
Yeah, we do.
But with this, I just think that maybe throughout the week, like if you guys have any questions, or if you make your pancakes and you add something new to the recipe, or like, I think that everyone should just try to bring something from their week that they can share, so that we can just, like I said, I think that we think all the time like, oh, everyone's doing it, but that's not the case. And I think the more we can share and the more ideas we have, the more that these team calls will be beneficial for everyone.
I agree.
I agree. That is something I've been struggling with, is just the fact that I follow a lot of not a lot, but I follow Beachbody coaches. So I see a lot of the Beachbody posts, but people that follow me don't follow all the Beachbody coaches. So they don't see what you see. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm describing that
Yeah.
correctly, but
The only thing that freaks me out a little bit about following too many Beachbody coaches is comparison.
That's
You
not-
don't want to start thinking, well, you know, they're just over here killing it, and here I am, plain Jane, like trying to scroll social media and eat pancakes. But the comparison will kill you. So I've definitely cut down to who I watch so that I don't do that. Because that is not going to help you at all.
And that's the thing, like, I follow maybe, like, obviously all of you guys, but, like, I have a couple, you know, top coaches that I get inspiration from, and I don't find myself comparing. Anytime I highly, it doesn't even have to be Beachbody, any accounts or anyone that ever, you know, you find is bringing any type of negativity into your head, like your thoughts, you know, you're comparing, just simply unfollow. A girlfriend of mine told me you can actually mute people's stories and posts without unfollowing, which I did not know. So that way, if it's like anyone, you know, you don't have to feel like you're gonna hurt their feelings, because sometimes it's not even them. They're killing it, they're doing awesome, but it just, you know, like last year, I feel like I went through that a lot with a lot of accounts. I was just like constantly comparing what they were posting to what I was posting. Well, why does their stuff look like that? Like, why is this like? So it can be really negative, and it shouldn't be like that. It's kind of like that girl that's huge right now with the whatever doesn't bring you joy when you hold it, faucet. That girl on Netflix.
Marie Kondo.
Yeah, it's the same with social media. You know, if you're finding you're following someone and you're getting caught up in, you know, just comparing, whatever, just simply mute them and just only follow people that inspire you, that, you know, bring you joy, that you enjoy, whatever. Obviously, I will always support everyone on our team and stuff like that. That's important. But I just find my feed at one point was all Beachbody coaches, and you know, I like to see other people's stuff too, like what other people in the world are doing and connect with other people. So just know, like, it's okay to not be following all the coaches or whatever. You know, I think it's good to have a couple that you like and follow. And hey, if you're good with following everyone, then keep it. You know, don't fix what is broken. But if you ever find yourself like comparing or, you know, whatever, just unfollow or unmute or whatever. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
Something I try to remind myself is that a lot of the top coaches have been doing it for like 7 years, and I've just really been doing it a month. So
Yep.
if you remember that, it helps keep it in check.
No, definitely. That's true, because that's exactly, you can't compare someone's chapter, you know, 50 to your chapter 1 or 2, right? So that is very true. And remembering everyone started as a new coach, and, you know, like, so, yeah. I like that. Okay, well, poor Katie, she commented in the group that her internet was kind of screwing up. And then she said, everyone sounded like robots. And then she commented again saying, but it wasn't your voices. I just want to clarify, it wasn't your voices. Oh. But she was bummed that she missed the picture last week. She jumped off literally right before, and then she's gone again. So she's gonna and next time I'm gonna start doing it right at the beginning before we even start talking. I'll just tell everyone to smile.
Right.
So Kayla, this is your first call, by the way. Welcome. I always take a picture. We like to take pictures just to post on your story or wherever. What?
Okay. Well, last time I tried to take a picture, it was like Jen and everyone else is really little.
Oh.
So I figured out how to do, everyone's the same size now.
Yay.
Or like, phones up.
I just post whatever you guys post.
Okay.
Great.
1, 2, 3. Fuzzy wiener.
Oh my God.
All right, that was good. That was cute. Everyone yeah. Does anyone have any questions? Anything you want to say, add before we wrap it
Good
up?
chat though.
It really was. And I just want to say again, like, I'm really proud of you all.
Glad everyone joined in. That's what I was confused with. When she said, do you want to co-host with me? I was like, yes. As long as everyone talks.
Yeah.
Not because of you, Sam. All because of you.
That's what I want always. So thank you guys for chatting.
Yeah, it was good.
It was. Yeah, and it's just always so good to hear other people's perspectives because, like, what works for me isn't going to work for everyone. What works for Sam isn't going to work for everyone. Like, everyone's different. Everyone learns differently. Everyone, just does things differently. So it's really good to hear what works for some, what doesn't work, just everyone's different opinions and like struggles and fears. And it's nice to know that we're all, we're all scared of posting on, Instagram. We all don't like really talking on this. We all have a problem with scrolling social media. Like, we just kidding. But yeah.
All right, well, have a safe trip home.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Sam, for, rocking this.
No problem.
And
Everyone was in on this.
yeah.
I would have been sitting here like
everyone and chatting and contributing and hopping on. And let's keep this going for February. I think it's just been such an awesome last couple weeks. Everyone really connecting and chatting and sharing, and so I want to keep it going. And you guys are all welcome. If you ever have things you want to chat about on here, you're more than welcome. Yeah. So same time, same place next week. Obviously, we will continue to chat and check in throughout the week and stuff. So, but yeah, let's go February. Woo! All right, ladies. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening.
thank you, you too.
Okay, I'll talk to you guys soon.
Okay, bye everyone.
Okay, bye.
Bye.